Welcome to today's video. Today we'll be talking about two sample t-test in R. When you open your R, this is actually R console. You can either work on R console or you work with your R Studio. So R Studio is much easier to use, but it is always better we learn through our R. To run, we'll still be using our Atlas data as explained in the Excel file that we have actually done. So to run the code on let me first give an introduction of the data sets. Atlas data is actually a car rating data set where the experimenter were informed about the rating of the car and the quality of the car. So this data set was recorded, and I think okay, to run a two sample test, we can actually find an insight using the particular data set. Now I've written the script for this data set, and I'll also attach it to this video. So to get the script, what you need to do is that you come to file, you come to open scripts, then you can locate where you save your script on your PC. In my own case, I actually save it in a file called two sample test in R. So I can double click on it and the script will come up. Now I'm going to be explaining these lines of code one after the other. So now, the first thing you have to do in R is to get your data set, and you can either simulate your data or you import it from your document. So in our own case, we've downloaded the data set we are going to use for this task, and it is Atlas data set. So to call a CSV file, you need library read R, and library read R is actually pre-installed with R, so you don't need to install it again. So to call the library, you just write library read R. So you can run these lines of code by either copying this particular and press Ctrl C, then you come to the R console to run it. And the very much faster way to do that is to make sure your cursor is blinking on the lines of code you want to run, then you press Ctrl R to run the code. So here we'll begin, we'll press Ctrl R, then it will read on our console. Now we have actually called the library to read the data set. Now the next thing to do is to get the work directory of our work document in R. To do that, you use this get wd, then you open a bracket, you close it, so you can run it. When you run it, the R will tell you where your current working directory is. So for my own case, my work directory is users owners document. So what I want to do here is that since I've seen where the work directory is, I have to copy my data set that I've already installed in my on my PC to this particular work directory. So what I will do next is that, let's assume that my data set is in download. I'll have to copy it from this download, Ctrl C, and paste it in my document and press Ctrl V. But the data set is already in this particular work directory, so I don't need to press Ctrl V to paste it here again. So what I need to do is that after copying this, you can now come back to your R console to run your data, to import the data into our environment. And to do that, you press Ctrl R again here, or you actually copy from here and you paste it on the R console. So then you get a lot of information telling you what the data is all about. Now there is no error here, but there are warnings, because the first column in the data set is actually the serial number, and the first row there is not labeled. So R automatically gives it X1, and that is why this particular message is popping up here. So now the next thing we want to do is that we need a particular library to summarize our data sets. In the case of Excel, we had to copy it one after the other, but R has a features that can just summarize the data itself. So we need a particular library to do that, and that is library FSA. Now this particular library is not, you have to install it before you can use it, but once you install it you can always use it. But in my own case, I've installed the library before, and that is why I put hash in front of it, so that by the time I'm running it will take it as comment and not run the code. So what we want to do next is to if you have not installed the library before, so you remove the hash sign and you copy and paste it to your R console, or you use the default method you are using by putting it here and press Ctrl R. But I'm not going to do that because I've installed it, so I'm going to put my hash back there. So the next thing you do after installing library FSA is to call it. So when you call the library, you write library FSA. Now it is now time to summarize your data sets by using the function summary. So let me load the library. I need to load it before I can use it, to irrespective of the fact that I already have it in my R environment. So the next thing to do now is to summarize. So the code is here written. The first argument here is written, which actually signify the continuous variable, while the expectation, the next one you use, is the categorical variable. And the next line here is the data set, and our data set is actually given adlats as the expression when we call the data into our environment. Then we want our output to be in 3 decimal place, so we have to put digits 3 here. So now to do that, after knowing this, now you can run the code. Then you have your summary, just like you have in the Excel. It's actually the same result. And the next thing you want to do is to run your t-test. You press Ctrl R, then you actually assign the results to test. So for you to view the results, you have to write this test out. You have to run the test, then you can see your 2 sample results. Then we have the same thing as we have in R. Thank you. And that is how you run 2 sample tests in R. Thank you for joining this video.